when I call any company, I expect people to have that information at their fingertips. And when they don't, I'm not only disappointed, I don't call back.
On our old system, they would handwrite everything as a phone call came in. Then they would go and enter it in the system.
With our old system, I would have to come in early and tie up 4 computers running reports before anyone else could get in the building.
The reports were so big before and it took forever to go through, and you were guessing and you felt like you were not being able to get enough information to order the right product.
Many companies, when it gets very busy, make a lot of mistakes and become very disorganized, and it becomes more chaotic. In Eclipse, it becomes more efficient and more organized.
We feel it's actually a competitive advantage to be on Eclipse in many respects.
There is nothing out there that's better than Eclipse, and we have discussed that numerous times here, whether or not something is out there, and we have not seen anything that approaches the capabilities that Eclipse has.
Eclipse has made it much easier going through a report. Previously, our reports were 2-3 inches thick, every line item in a buying group to purchase, and it would take hours to go through each report. Right now, twice a day a report comes up, we go through that report. You can finish almost all your groups in a shorter amount of time than it took to go through one report at a time, and with a better efficiency.
It tells you what to buy, it looks at sales, demands, hits, over the past year, looks at seasonal items, depending on what time of year it is, and it tells you exactly what you should buy, and then as a good buyer, you look that over and may need to tweak it.
Once you've done all that, you don't even have to leave your desk to fax it or email it or EDI it right out of there. So it makes the purchasing function very quick.
Our vendors were pressing us to do things more electronically than by fax or phone call. And with the volume we were doing allowed us to go to the front of the line, if you want to have to say it, by doing things electronically, less chance of people touching it.
We just don't even have to key anything special. We just order the material, we convert it from Eclipse suggested purchase order, goes over electronically, received and acknowledged and shipped, and then an EDI acknowledgement comes back for receiving our shipper notice, and the invoice comes in.
You're not faxing it, someone else is taking it and retyping it, so there's less errors.
The real bang for the buck in EDI is if you get the perfect hits. The other big bang for the buck is if you can reach a point where your pricing file, it really forces you to manage your files clean, and that whole interface, there's a lot of value there. And everybody that's on it would stay on it, and I think the primary reason is because of the quality of the way you run your business, and ultimately the service that it drives to the customer.
With the Platinum service, it's really been great because if I have a problem, I don't have to hire anybody to do it. I couldn't hire somebody to do it for what I pay Eclipse to do it. I just make a phone call or send an email, and the Eclipse person that's assigned to my account, they take care of it. They're very efficient, very documented, and I don't have to worry about being sick. I can't believe people working at their companies doing EDI.
Everything's real time. Any time a product's scanned out of a location, the system knows it instantaneously. So if you count 2 minutes later, you get the right count. You don't have to worry about, well, it's on an order, but it wasn't picked. If it wasn't picked, it'll still show in the bin, even though it's committed to an order. So that makes a big difference, because it's difficult for companies to get really accurate counts. You have accurate counts, you have accurate inventory, you have better fill rates.
We are an efficiency-centric company, and we are always looking in areas that we can improve that. So recently we've done an RF warehouse, picking and receiving, and I think that's probably our biggest success story recently. Without that, system for the modern distributor, I just don't see how you could function efficiently.
The accuracy rate definitely goes up, and therefore the customer's getting their material consistently accurate. And one would think in distribution that should be a no-brainer, but the reality is until you have a tight barcoded system, frequently the error rate runs relatively high. And within error, there's a whole lot of hidden costs. So not only are you having service shortfalls to your customer, you're also adding a lot of cost.
We know exactly how productive all of our pickers are, how many picks per hour they make, how many picks per day, how much time of their full 8-hour day they're actually logged onto the scanner. All that's accounted for in Eclipse. So we keep everybody honest, we keep everybody productive, and we pay an incentive for productivity. But it's measurable now. Here at our central distribution, we have a very busy counter. It's probably 20% of our overall business. Eclipse allowed us to incorporate the counter picking into our regular picking via RF and using scanners. Our response time, picking time, customer service time dropped dramatically. I mean dramatically, from like 20 minutes an order down to like 6 minutes an order. And we came down 3 people at the counter. We utilized those people in other places, but it helped us to cut down on FTEs overall by adding hires. Relative to signature capture, we do capture every signature at our counter via signature pad.
Which all of a sudden had a big impact on the way we were collecting money, because typically customers that pay in 60 days don't let you know that they don't have a proof of delivery until the 60-day point. They don't let you know the first week. So those kinds of things, it had an impact all throughout the company.
There's job bidding, there's AR, there's the showroom piece. You know, there's a lot of stuff, but everything seems to work well. And our customers never complain about mistakes or glitches. That just really doesn't happen.
Our annual physical, used to be a 2-day operation just to count. And then there's double counts another day on top of that. We're down to counting and double counting in a day.
We use PDW for getting our salespeople information quickly so that they can answer customer questions rapidly. So I'm viewing that as a good product for an enhancement to customer service.
The pricing is much quicker using Eclipse than any other system I've used. Most of our vendors email us their price files in an Excel format, which then I can manipulate and upload directly into Eclipse, including specific multipliers and things like that. So instead of manually loading in pricing, it's automated.
I've been using that kind of reporting, identifying who's creating surplus, training them on the proper procedures so we can stop surplus, and then work on trying to get rid of the older surplus. And creation of new surplus has cut down.
We keep getting bigger relative to sales volume, but we maintain the same number of people, and they're still able to handle the increased load easily.
The inertia for Eclipse in the industry is very, very strong, and that speaks a lot about the package that you guys have and what it brings to distribution as a whole.
It has been a good move for us. We have not, we're trying to swim with the tide rather than against the tide, and it's been a big help. The package is more efficient, and it saved us money.
We found literally thousands of dollars that we were paying that we shouldn't have paid. And Dan Zacconi, our systems manager, feels that we probably paid for the system in the first couple of years.
There's no doubt Eclipse was the best solution for SG. It's made a lot of money for SG Supply in 10 years we've done the system. It continues to make us money, very vital part of our operation here. I couldn't see how SG would exist today without it.